And joining me right now is Derek Liu, CEO of Blue Star Capital. Ticker there is BLU. Derek, thanks for joining me.
Fantastic to be here.
Yes, nice to get you on. You're brand new CEO of Blue Star Capital, of course. And first of all, people are watching and they've they've heard of Blue Star Capital, but know it vaguely. Can you just give a brief overview of what the company's all about, please, Derek?
Yeah, absolutely. Blue Star Capital, we're investors in early stage technologies that are disruptive and dynamic. And our whole key is getting in early on the wave. And as we go through today, we can talk a little bit more about how that manifests itself and what that means.
Okay, cool. And take us, through your backstory, how you came to be where you are today with Blue Star Capital, please.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Where I am today is really, where we are today is because of Tony Fabrizio. I want to say that off the bat. 7 years as CEO, he left us with a fantastic foundation. So here we are building on the foundation of early stage disruptive technologies. And me, I come from a background of venture capital. I run a firm called GrowthWorks Capital here in Vancouver, 30 years of history investing in disruptive technology. And so when I come to Blue Star, I bring not just myself, you don't just get me as CEO, you get the entire GrowthWorks team coming to help Blue Star.
Excellent stuff. And just go through some of the markets where you're in at the moment, some of the investments you have in it with Blue Star Capital.
Yeah, again, being early stage adopters in disruptive and dynamic technologies, we've invested in payments with Staller and Satoshi Pay, and more recently we've invested in esports with companies like Guild and Dynasty.
Yeah, and what is the strategy there? Apart from investing, are you hands-on? Do you have advice, or just hands-off? And how do you guide that and steer that?
Yeah, well, I think it's a really important piece, Justin, because how have things changed since we've taken over leadership at Blue Star? And what we've done is we've built the bench strength up over here at Blue Star. We've added not just myself, but as I said, we've added the entire GrowthWorks team. So we're bringing a venture capital discipline to the way our investments are managed. So what does that mean? It means hands-on. It means venture capitalists rolling up their sleeves, working with management, helping management build out their business plans, helping management execute on their business strategy. So for example, Satoshi Pay, right now they're launching G-Transfer that everyone's very excited about. So our venture capitalists are working with them, helping them execute and realize on the potential of G-Transfer. And not only the GrowthWorks team, but we've also strengthened the bench at the director level. We've added Brian Robotham, and he is an experienced FD, and he's going to help us navigate the corporate governance pieces that we need to navigate as an aimlessly company. And my fellow director, Sean, who I think predated me on the Blue Star board by about a year or so, he's got over 30 years of experience in the advertising and digital marketing space, a finely honed media industry perspective on what really is a media play in the case of esports.
Okay, you mentioned Satoshi Pay there, Derek. Go a bit more into detail, if you could, into the portfolio highlights and what you're holding there. First of all, let's start off with the blockchain payments, then we'll go into the esports side, if you could. Start off with the payment side, if you could.
Justin, thanks a lot. That's a great question. So Satoshi Pay, as you know, we own about 30% of Satoshi Pay, and they've recently pivoted into a business-to-business model called D-Transfer. And with that, they're going to use the power of the blockchain to move currencies cross-border. So if you have a solution like the D-Transfer solution, where it can be moved on the blockchain and the secure decentralized network that is the blockchain, a lot of that friction goes away and it just becomes more efficient, which is the future of the blockchain, efficiency.
Yeah. Okay, and another hot space, of course, is esports, and I think people will know you as well from the investments in Guild. David Beckham's, he owns a chunk of shares as well. Take us through that and other parts of the esports investments you have there, Derek.
Well, when it comes to portfolio highlights, Justin, we're really proud of our esports investments because it really proves out our model of getting into industries at the early stage of their ramp up. And one of the key challenges in the venture capital community these days is seeing exits in a timely manner, because the longer the investment is held for, the more it grinds the IRR. If we can get in and out quickly, we can maximize the IRR for our investors. And that's exactly what we were able to do in the case of Guild. Guild, we made an investment in November of 2019, and it floated on the London Stock Exchange main market about 12 months later. And in that time, the blue piece in Guild increased about 3x.
Wow. Okay, cool. And what about other esports investments?
Well, that's a great opportunity in esports because it's not just about the teams, which is what Guild is. It's also about the path to pro. All the things that are needed to support the folks that want to become professionals or dream of becoming professionals. The same way you and I dreamt of becoming a football player, or I might have dreamt of becoming an ice hockey player. Kids today are dreaming of becoming professional esports players, and there's an entire piece that goes around that. For example, we're invested in a company called Dynasty, and Dynasty provides the platform that esports players are competing on. The same way that we had to compete on a pitch, the difference is investors back in the day couldn't own the neighborhood pitch. Investors today, they can own the platform that players are competing on. In this case, it's Dynasty.
I'm not a gamer, but my sons are. I've got two sons. One is 8 and one is 10, and they're obsessed with gaming. And the terrestrial TV doesn't exist to them. And if it's your future, and their friends are the same, so they'll get up in the morning. The only TV they'll watch is they'll put the YouTube app on the TV, watch guys playing Fortnite. Then they want to play Fortnite. That's all they want to do is play Fortnite or watch guys playing Fortnite. So it's the future. Just in my mind, I don't see a future for traditional TV. I don't see anything out there. It's all gaming. But is that what you're thinking as well? I mean, it's going to be. It's still, we're just at the tip of the iceberg here. Do you think?
You've identified the path to pro piece that I was just talking about, Justin. It's the same way that when you and I were playing football in your case, or maybe ice hockey in my case, and then we turned the TV on at night and we saw the pros do something that we could only dream of doing earlier in the day when we were playing with our buddies. That's exactly what younger people today are seeing. They're playing, like you say, your kids are getting up, they're watching it, they're trying to replicate it themselves when they play Fortnite with their friends. It's the exact same dynamic that you and I drew to Premiership League for you, the NFL for me, is drawing these guys into the esports leagues. You're 100% right, Justin.
Yeah, okay. And say over the next now, say 6-12 months, what kind of milestones or achievements you're hoping to get or achieve, and what can so shareholders look forward to? Derek?
Well, I mean, we all know the numbers about esports, right? We all know that in 2020, it was an industry with $950 million in revenue, about a $500 million audience. And of that revenue, about 800 million of that was coming from sponsorship. So that's why when I say it's all about media, it really is about that sponsorship and media rights piece. And we know that revenue is going to grow. We know that we're going to go from 950 million in revenue in the esports space to 1.5 billion in revenue by 2023. We know that they're going to grow that audience from just around 500 million to somewhere between 650 and 700 million by 2023. So you tell me what the opportunity is. I mean, a growing industry, the right demographic, young people that advertisers want to touch. There's nothing but positive opportunity for the esports space in the next 6 to 12 months.
Excellent stuff, Derek. Good to chat to you, and hopefully we'll catch up in the not too distant future. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Justin.